The city sleeps, not the delivery drivers. They become nocturnal creatures, navigating a concrete jungle now ruled by shadows. Each streetlight a beacon in the darkness, each darkened alley a potential trap. They are drawn into the night, lured by the promise of extra cash, blind to the dangers lurking behind glowing phone screens and hungry customers. Each ping of a new order, a roll of the dice. Will this delivery be just another drop-off or a one-way ticket to a nightmare? Mike checked the address twice. Isolated house, end of a dirt road. Bad vibes clung to the place like cobwebs. The customer, a woman's voice on the phone, sounded agitated, almost hysterical. Ordered enough food to feed a family reunion. He approached the front door cautiously. The porch light flickered, casting grotesque shadows. He rang the bell. Silence, then a low moan from inside. He took a step back, heart pounding. Something wasn't right. He peered through a window. His blood ran cold. A woman lay sprawled on the floor, unmoving, surrounded by a pool of blood. Rain lashed against Maria's windshield, blurring the streetlights into halos of confusion. Another late-night delivery, another chance to make rent. This time it was a dingy apartment complex, the kind that swallowed sound and hope in equal measure. The customer, a man's gruff voice, instructed her to leave the food at the door, no exceptions. As she placed the bag down, she felt a chill crawl down her spine. A low growl emanated from within the apartment, then a loud thud. She turned to leave, but something caught her eye. A brown paper bag lay next to the door, untied. Curiosity, or perhaps morbid fascination, got the better of her. She peered inside. Her scream died in her throat as her eyes fell upon a severed human arm, its pale flesh glistening under the dim hallway light. John thought he knew every back road, every shortcut in the city. Tonight, those roads betrayed him. His GPS led him astray, deeper and deeper into unfamiliar territory. Deserted factories loomed on either side, their broken windows like vacant eyes. He felt a sudden jolt, his car swerving dangerously, a flat tire. As he pulled over, he noticed something glinting in the dim moonlight. A line of sharp metal spikes lay scattered across the road. He'd driven into a trap. Before he could react, a figure emerged from the shadows, a glint of steel in his hand. John was trapped, miles from help, at the mercy of a predator who knew these roads all too well. The drivers all shared the same stories, whispers exchanged in the dead of night between deliveries. The city became a different beast after midnight. The familiar streets transformed into a labyrinth of fear, every shadow a potential assailant, every customer a possible threat. They carried pepper spray, knives, anything to feel safe in a world that offered none. They drove with one hand on the wheel, the other hovering over the panic button, their senses on high alert. The city that never sleeps had become a breeding ground for their anxieties, a constant reminder of their vulnerability. They were modern-day knights, errant, delivering sustenance instead of swords, their steeds rusty scooters and dented cars. But the quest for a decent wage came with a hefty price tag, their peace of mind. Each late-night delivery chipped away at their sense of security, replacing it with a gnawing fear that lingered long after their shifts ended. The darkness had a way of seeping into their lives, staining their waking hours with the residue of fear. Sleep offered little respite, haunted by nightmares of shadowy figures and blood-curdling screams. The city that once held promise now felt like a prison, its inhabitants both captors and potential victims. Some drivers, hardened by the constant fear, developed a sixth sense, a hyper-awareness of their surroundings. They became masters of reading body language, of detecting the subtle signs of danger. Others, their nerves frayed by too many close calls, succumbed to the pressure. They quit, seeking solace in the relative safety of daylight jobs, leaving the night shift to those who were either too desperate or too numb to be afraid. The turnover rate was high, a revolving door of souls drawn in by the allure of easy money, only to be spit back out, scarred and disillusioned. They became accustomed to checking their rear-view mirrors, not for traffic, but for the telltale glint of a weapon or the menacing silhouette of a pursuer. Every slammed car door sent shivers down their spines. Every unexpected noise made them jump. They started seeing threats where there were none, their imaginations running wild in the darkness. They were haunted by the faces of the people they encountered, the ones who lingered a little too long at the door, the ones whose eyes held a flicker of something sinister. The line between reality and paranoia blurred, leaving them stranded in a perpetual state of unease. Despite the risks, many continued to ride. The allure of the open road, the freedom of being their own boss, outweighed the dangers. They found solace in the anonymity of their vehicles, cocooned in steel and glass, a barrier between them and the lurking darkness. They developed coping mechanisms, listening to music, podcasts, anything to drown out the silence and the gnawing fear. They became nocturnal creatures, their internal clocks permanently skewed, their lives a constant dance with danger. They were more than just delivery drivers, they were confidants, therapists, witnesses to the underbelly of the city that never sleeps. They saw it all, the good, the bad, and the downright terrifying. They delivered food to the lonely, the heartbroken, the desperate. They were privy to the secrets whispered behind closed doors, the dramas unfolding in dimly lit apartments. They became accidental voyeurs into the lives of strangers, their own experiences forever intertwined with the stories of those they served. They were the silent observers, the invisible messengers, delivering more than just food. They delivered a glimpse into the heart of a city teetering on the edge of madness.